Yellow, TENIME here. I know this looks stupid, but it actually sounds the best clipped up here, so I'm gonna be doing this for a while until I get a better clip-on mic that I can just clip here, like normal. Today, we're gonna be taking a look at the Medicom MAFEX Return of Superman Eradicator. Let's take a look at it. All right, there's that pesky ring light reflecting in the window, trying to give you guys better quality. So checking him out. We can look at him, whatever. Okay, so box up the window, a little picture of the figure. Got to the series that it's from: Eradicator, Superman, DC, MAFEX, Medicom toy, Return of Superman. On the side, you got another picture of him with all the logos and stuff. On the top, we have the Superman logo. On the other side, we got a little pose from him, Medicom and Superman. On the bottom, we got a little Medicom toy hologram there with some warning, choking hazard, ages 15 plus, Medicom toy user support, and all the warnings in Japanese and stuff. On the back, we got all the cool poses that the figure can do, and hopefully some accessories. I wish that Medicom would do like the accessory loadout pictures. Like you'll see it on Amazing Yamaguchi boxes. Hasbro's been doing a lot for like their 6-inch figures, where it's a picture of a figure on a white background and it's got all their accessories laid out next to them. And it's really good for cataloging. And I've been cataloging my figures and stuff, so it's really easy to see what accessories come with what figures. So let's get this guy open. And there is the last son of Krypton, free from his plastic Phantom Zone. Eradicator was never in the Phantom Zone, at least I don't think so, at least not in the 90s after Superman died. But we've got the little certifying genuine product instructions, how to make sure you didn't get a knockoff. I just always throw these away. They're not as helpful as the instructions that other import figures come with, but it's still very nice that Medicom includes them so you can verify that you did get a genuine Medicom product. So he comes with a stand. I love Medicom stands. Maybe not as much as, say, from the plastic bags. Maybe not as much as, say, Amazing Yamaguchi, where they've got the 84,000 holes on there, but these are still good stands because most of my MAFEX figures are perfectly posed without their stands. I actually use these with a lot of other action figure lines. You've got the always nice arm with the helpful screws to tighten it up if it ever gets too loose. You've got the cool wide waist circular loop grabby end with the screw to tighten if it gets too loose. That can go on the end of the stand here. And then you also have the typical import grabby stand with the plastic hinges. So you can't tighten if they get too loose. The nice thing is they are dismantleable, so you can always thicken up the pegs or thicken up the holes to provide more friction in there. And what's cool about a lot of these new MAFEX ones is you saw I took this off the piece that plugs into the top of the arm. But what's cool is you take this off, then you slide this front piece out. So then this can just go off to the side. Then you take this curvy little dude, and with that peg there, you slide this on there. So then what you can do there is this can hold the crotch, and this holds the waist, and it's good for like flying or jumping poses. I actually really like this. It took me too long to figure out how to implement it, and apparently it took a whole lot of other reviewers too long to figure out how to implement it. Would have helped if we had some instructions, Medicom, but we were able to figure it out on our own otherwise. So again, I do really like these. Obviously gonna have to tighten those up because that is a little loose, but they can be tightened up, which is awesome. And then you even get just a static post that will plug into the stand. And the clips plug in to the top of it. So if you don't want to deal with an arm that could potentially droop, that is a good alternative, especially if you want to use the flying claw. It kind of looks like a claw. That's the claw! The claw! Yeah, he's got an alternate angry head. Kind of looks like Cyclops there. He's got these awesome hand sprues where he's got a pair of relaxed hands. A pair of, like, hey, you want to wrestle hands? I'll crush your head. He's got a pair of splayed out hands. Because all Supermen are kung fu masters, he's got a pair of karate chop hands. No, they're flying hands. And then he's got a pair of these translucent yellow flying hands, only they're not flying hands. The energy blasts that he comes with actually fit over the hands. So he can, like, shoot his beams, which is really, really cool. There is a right and wrong way to do it. I did feel a little resistance when I tried to put that one on. So yeah, hopefully you can see it is actually shaped for the hand. So, and technically you could put these on the solid black ones as well, if you think that looks cooler, which kind of does look pretty cool. There is the head that he comes packaged with on in the box. I think that's what I wanted to say. He has a dumbbell joint, and the MAFEX dumbbell joints are kind of weird. They're like bent. I've never felt that gives me extra range, but then he has a ball joint at the bottom of the neck. He can look up that far. He can look all the way down. Jeez, his chin is literally touching his chest. He has a wired cape with a Superman S shield on the back. It is wired on the outer edges all the way around and stops at the shield on the chest. And then he's even got some like little shoulder pads to help the cape look a little cooler, puffed up and folded over there. He has butterfly joints. They can go back that far, or they can go forward that far. His hinge and swivel arm goes up that far. He has a bicep swivel. He has double jointed pinless elbows that come most of the way up. The muscly sculpt gets in the way. And then he has the pinned hinge and swivel hands, so you can turn them whichever way you need them, and the friction keeps them on pretty nicely. The friction keeps them on extremely nicely. He has, I think, a dumbbell in the rib cage, so he can get that much back. He can get that much forward. He might have another. Nope, he just has a ball joint in his lower abs, so he can get a little further back, and then bend over, touch his toes. No, I can't either. So, and I don't have abs. I was gonna say I don't have abs like that, but I don't have abs. Period. So, I'm sure biologically I have abdominal muscles underneath the fat, but if I put on a skin-tight spandex suit like this, I would not look as impressive as he does. He has capped ball joint hips, so they do move on the cap a little bit, so you get a little bit of, you get more in than you get out. The crotch piece is a little rubbery, so you can kick up to there, though you do see it does kind of turn a little bit just to get that range. Can't really go back all that far. Let me hold the crotch piece so you can see without turning it, without cheating. So he gets that much out, not a whole lot. Double jointed, pinless knees. Foot can go up. His foot can go down. His toes can come up. There's a forward-facing pin for rocker. He gets amazing in. He gets okay out. But I always say we don't need as much out as we need in. And no action figure needs that much in. but it's nice to have it. As you saw, there is a swivel up here as well, so you can swivel at the top. Just the ankle sculpt right there is going to get in the way. So, but you can see it turn in there. So this is actually my first Eradicator figure. So, comparing him to some other Supermans, on the left we have the DC Direct Superman Batman Ed McGuinness style Kal-El. On the right we have the McFarlane Toys Dark Knight Returns Superman. We have the Mattel DC Universe Classics Superboy and the Medicom MAFEX The Boys Homelander. We have the Medicom MAFEX Batman Hush Jim Lee Superman. This is my preferred Superman, so I do not have the Death and Return of Superman. I do, however, have the Medicom MAFEX Return of Superman Cyborg Superman and Steel 3 down, my favorite to go. Maybe sneak the DC Classics one in just to get a cool shot of all 4 of them. And there is a shot of the real Superman with the 3 quote-unquote imposters, or 3 of the 4 quote-unquote imposters. I know typically when I have one figure from a company like McFarlane, I usually replace my usual figure, but I did still want to see a size comparison with Mortal Kombat 11 Shadow of Spawn. But I did put McFarlane Dark Knight Returns Superman back out there. Then, of course, the Super 7 Silverhawks Ultimates Bluegrass and Sideman. I really like the size comparison with Hasbro Marvel Legends Comic Book Deadpool. I don't know why I've never compared DC Comic MAFEX with Hasbro Comic Legends, but seeing them this well sized with each other, I always expected MAFEX to run a little smaller, but this makes me think that while a lot more expensive than the Hasbro Marvel Legends figures, that these can actually rival them in scale. We got the Mattel Masterverse Revelation Stinkor. We have the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze Michelangelo, the Jakks Pacific Super Mario, the Fresh Monkey Fiction Eagle Force Agent Grimm, and the Diamond Select Toys G.I. Joe Minimates Storm Shadow. And all right, there we go. This is yet another absolutely fantastically, spectacularly, amazingly awesome DC comic book MAFEX figure. The only downsides to this figure and this line are the few and far between, vastly spaced out release schedule and the high import price, which actually kind of turns the few and far between, vastly spread apart release schedule a little easier to handle. I don't know if I can handle like a wave of 6 of these all dropping at the same time. No, let me change that. I definitely could not handle a wave of 6 of these things dropping at the same time. But this is my ideal DC Comics line. This and the Batman Hush stuff. Just, I've got all the Hush figures, except for Skydive Batman, just because I've got my regular Batman. Well, I don't have the blue and gray Batman because I have the black and gray Batman. And I don't have the Skydive Batman because I have the black and gray Batman. But this is not a review. With the Superman shield being my first tattoo and my first personalized license plate being Luthor. I'm a big Superman fan. I'm very nervous to see what James Gunn is doing, which is funny to say because the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy are some of my favorite movies of all time. Volume 1 was my favorite movie of all time until Volume 3 topped it, and I did really enjoy his The Suicide Squad. I'm just wary about the whole reboot thing. Henry Cavill was so perfectly cast, he just had garbage material to work with, unfortunately. David Corenswet looks good, but this is not a review of James Gunn's Superman, which isn't even out yet. I'm cautiously optimistic. This figure's amazing. If you like Superman, if you like the death and return of Superman, this is not Kal-El. This is, I don't remember what he was. Cyborg Superman was Hank Henshaw. Steel was John Henry Irons. Superboy, Con-El, or Connor Kent, was a clone of Superman and Lex Luthor. I don't remember what the Eradicator was. I don't. He had like the tagline, The Last Son of Krypton, which, you know, was Superman's, but Kal-El's, Clark Kent's, But yeah, if you're a fan of Supermen, if you are a fan of DC Comics, if you're a fan of Metacom MAFEX figures, this is another awesome figure. I am very happy to have this as part of the collection. You know the drill, the YouTube algorithm sucks. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you would like to support me on Patreon, $5 a month gets you unlimited backstage access to all artworks, works in progress. Either way, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Those are never hollow words. If I didn't appreciate it, I wouldn't say it. Stay safe. TTFN. Ta-ta for now. Oh, it's kind of stupid. Yellow. TENIME here. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Metacom MAFEX Return of Super... The boob. And it was backwards stupid. There is the head that he comes packaged with him on. There is the head that he comes packaged. There is the head that he comes... Bro, I can't word this.